first thing I ask myself when I come up with a new story idea is, who cares? Is this story bigger than I am? Will I be able to tap into something universal, or am I just indulging myself? Now, by now you know that I believe that everyone should write. However, not all writing is art. Some writing is catharsis, and that's a beautiful thing and a necessary thing. And some writing we can classify as a good start. And some writing, frankly, is not going to amount to much more than it already is. And that's fine too. But it's not art. So I want to talk a little bit about the universal cliche of writing, which is write what you know. But what I'm saying is, you can write what you know, but don't write it exactly how you know it. It's got to go through the crucible. Take all of your raw material and put it through the metaphorical crucible. And what comes out will be so much bigger than the initial vision that you had for your story. So that's the question that I'd like you to ask yourself this week. Who cares? And I don't mean that in a scoffing or negative way. If you ask yourself this question, hopefully you will, your mind will explode afterwards with really wonderful tangential ideas, and you're going to start fleshing things out. And that's great. But if you get the little nagging feeling that maybe this story is kind of, falls into the navel-gazing category, it's a good question to ask yourself, because then you'll know. I have met several writers who are working on manuscripts that are probably never going to be published. In fact, they're definitely not going to be published because they're writing things that are basically they haven't gone through the crucible. They haven't translated this story into something that is bigger than themselves. So by now you're probably wondering, do I have an example that I can give you? And I want to talk to you again a little bit about my first novel. This novel it's called Merry Modern, and it came out in 2007. And the thing about this book is that I wouldn't have written it if my grandmother hadn't died. And the book is about a scientist who clones her grandmother. So I could have, and I'm sure I did at some point, sat down and wrote a story about a girl who loses her grandmother and cries and feels really rotten and et cetera, et cetera. That's not art. That's catharsis. So what I was able to do with this book, I hope, hopefully you'll read it and agree with me. Hopefully what I was able to do with this book is turn what was my private grief into something that anyone can read this book and feel what these characters are feeling. And that is art. Hopefully that is art. So that's what I'm talking about. So for this week, what I'd like you to do is possibly build on Flashwrite episode 7, the mind mapping exercise. Why not try the mind mapping with a particular story idea, something that you have in mind, and apply the question of who cares and see where that takes you. Keep asking yourself these kind of tough love questions because your story will be so much richer for it and so much more worth writing and more worth reading because you have asked yourself the tough love questions. So that is my gift to you this week. Who cares? Ask yourself that question every day. And as always, enjoy your writing practice, and thanks for watching.